You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. Well, what do you know? There's young Dickie Dozen just finishing the supper dishes. All by himself, too. Uh-oh, here comes his sister Daisy.
Why, Dickie Dozen, you feeling all right?
Sure, silly.
Yes, but you offering to do all the dishes for Ma.
Oh, I guess a fella can wash dishes, can't he? Besides, doing dishes with Does is a snack. Well, like Ma says, Does everything in the wash, and it's got everything for dishes, too.
Listen, Smarty, I know all that. I know Does makes suds that stand up till the last dish is done.
And it cuts grease like 60.
Yet it's kinder to hands. But I want to know what you're up to, being so angelic.
I'm up to washing dishes, that's what. Gee, Does makes wonderful suds. Look, they're still standing up even when I get to these greasy pots and pans.
Yeah, you don't have to keep adding soap either. But listen, Dickie, you know you usually race out to play baseball with Stinky.
Oh, I'll be with Stinky in a flash. Why, Does'll zip through this grease on Ma's frying pan in less than half a minute. And my pitching arm won't be tired from any hard scouring either.
You and your pitching arm. I like the way Does leaves my hands so smooth and nice. It's kinder to him. But, Dickie, you better tell me what's up.
All right. I just thought if I gave the dishes their daily dozen, Ma'd feel better.
Feel better when?
Well, when she sees my report card tonight.
Well, Dickie, I don't know about your report card, but Does is head of the class for dishes. Why, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does is the only one of them that gives you all this. Makes suds that stand up till the last dish is done, cuts grease like 60, yet it's kinder to your hands. So change to Does, D-U-Z. It has everything for dishes. And now the Goldbergs. Ever since George confessed to Molly that Grace was his wife and not Sammy's, and that he and the girl had come to Lastenbury to play a lying, cheating game with the Goldbergs, Molly has been experimenting with human salvation. Her first step was to trust George with the responsibility and the funds of the newly formed Committee on Juvenile Delinquency. Grace is still unaware of George's confession. So last night, Molly Goldberg made another experiment. While Jake and Rosie were worried that Grace might leave the house with the funds of the committee, which she had persuaded George to give her, Molly spent the night in Grace's room with her. And as they talked, the girl's heart seemed to soften, and she finally broke into tears. When morning came, Molly had a great happiness in her heart. She felt that she had broken through Grace's defenses. She wanted to tell Jake of her success, but then, unfortunately, Molly and Jake had a little quarrel. Nevertheless, the question remains, did Molly's talk have an effect on Grace? Now, listen.
Ma, the telephone. I hear the phone. Ma, the telephone again. And if it's Papa, talk to him. Why wouldn't I talk to him in general? I'll talk to him. Hello?
Rosalie, Papa.
I know.
Is Mama in the vicinity?
Right here.
Is she still mad at me?
Ask her.
Put her on.
Just a minute. Ma.
Is Grace there standing?
No, she didn't come down yet.
Put Mama on. Rosalie, did Mama tell you what she didn't want to tell me?
Ma. 1 minute, Pa.
I'm holding.
Ma, it's Pa. What is the nature of his wish to speak to me? Ma, please, here.
Hello?
Ma. Hello? This is Mrs. Goldberg speaking.
This is Mr. Goldberg.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm very well.
Would you like to know how I am?
I presume you are very well.
Not very. My wife is mad at me, and I don't know how to make her glad.
Maybe if you would seek to understand your wife.
But my wife keeps secrets from me.
Perhaps she is compelled.
If I ask you...
I am
Molly,
busy, Jake.
Molly, answer me. I'm asking you. What were you so anxious to tell me?
I'm busy, Jake.
Molly.
I'm occupied.
Ma.
What did you want to tell me about Grace?
It's non-consequential.
Then good day.
Good day.
My.
Silas,
If you don't want to tell Papa, you can tell me.
tell you. Want to tell Papa, I can tell you. For you and your Papa, Rosalie, everything has to be black or it has to be white. And unless 2 and 2 equals 4, then
Why do you say that?
Because
My.
how long can I go on being the
What?
one that... Nothing. If I told you, because Grace cried in bed with me last night, and if I told you just my mentioning of children and what I hope for the future of her child made her shed tears...
So?
You have to ask me so? What do you think? Tell me. High school girl, nearly college entrance. You tell me what? Why do people cry? Tell me. Tell me you learn so much in school. Tell me. Maybe you know something that is pertaining to the heart, not in books. Tell me. Tell me. Why do people cry? Why? When their hearts are softened and when their hearts are melting, they cry. And when you see tears, where do you see the soul of a person? Where? Where do you see the soul of a person? In tears, no?
Is that what you wanted to tell Papa?
That's what I wanted to tell Papa, yes, that there is hope for Grace.
Well, why didn't you?
Put a napkin for Grace. She didn't came down for breakfast yet.
You think she'll tell you everything herself?
I am sure of it.
And you think that the money's safe?
As safe as in the Bank of England. At least one thing I have in my life, if nothing else. I'll be able to look back and know I saved a human life from the depths.
Because she cried?
Because she cried. Yes. Yes, because she cried. Don't stand. Spill Grace. Orange juice.
My.
I'm taking it. She cried. Hello?
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 How are you?
Very well.
Well,
Well, what?
are you going to tell me?
I'm fixing breakfast.
What did you want to tell me?
Let it suffice.
What?
Nothing.
Good day.
A day.
Ma, I never knew anyone that...
George?
Hello, Mrs.
Good
Goldberg.
morning. George, I was just coming over to see you. I was just running over to see you this minute. If you didn't came over to see me because my news I have to report is all well, George. All is well. George, Grace cried. Last night she cried, and I'm sure she'll tell you she wants to confess to me everything, to be forgiven, and she'll start all over again, George.
Gee, are you sure?
I'm sure. Shh. Not one so. Morning, Grace.
Good morning, Grace.
Morning. Come. I'm just fixing breakfast for you. It's all standing, darling. Orange juice, and if you want to scramble yourself, take 2 eggs, darling. You'll excuse me because I got to go out and fix my chores. I want to bake, so I have to pick eggs. Excuse me, Rosalie.
Yes, Ma.
And George, spill yourself and swallow a cup.
I will. Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute. Not a second.
All right.
Yes,
Oh, Grace. Gosh, am I happy.
We're leaving, George.
When? Did you tell Mrs. Goldberg?
Stop dreaming. Go back to Masher's and get your stuff. I'll meet you as soon as I give these people a slip.
Well, give me the money.
I'll hold it. It's safe with me.
We're not leaving without giving the money to Mrs. Goldberg.
It worked with you, didn't it? The old soft soap wore you down, didn't it? I got a whole dose of it last night. She got me, so I started to cry. But the daytime isn't the night. I'm thinking now. I'm not just feeling sorry for myself and the whole world. Wake up, George. It's the old stuff.
Oh, you're crazy.
Why? Because I'm not willing to take promises of a better world in exchange for cold cash? I'm a realist. I live today, not tomorrow.
Give me the money.
Well, you are reformed, aren't you?
It's not a question of reforming.
Oh, let's not be dopes, George. Let's talk facts. I've got the money. I've got a baby that's going to be born, your baby and mine. And I'm the one that's loved you. Okay. All those 3 things go together. If you don't do as I say, you can stay behind. I don't want you unless you're the one I love. Not some poured-over mess of slop which the ladies' home aid discuss at their salvage meetings. Do you hear me? We're standing on our feet together. We don't need sympathy. Maybe she gave me the willies last night, but I'm clear now. I'm going up to pack, and we're leaving with the money, or else you can stay behind and cry over me with the rest of the ladies' society to help delinquent children.
Grace.
Get out of the way, Kitty.
Grace.
Rosalie, you put the pails in the right place, darling. Put the pails. Yes, dear. There's Grace.
She went upstairs.
No, George. Well? George? Well?
You better tell her you know who she is and what she is. And see that she gives you the money. Don't let her get away with it. Telephone, Mrs. Goldberg.
I know.
Well, aren't you going to answer it?
No. I know who it is. Let it ring.
Molly will have to learn that the enemy may weaken, but not necessarily have to surrender. In fact, Grace, knowing her own weakness, is all the more determined to make an issue of it and get away. Well, everybody knows Molly Goldberg usually thinks things through carefully before she acts. Now, of course, thinking things through is something you'll never get from that flutterhead cousin dozen. She means all right, but, well, for instance, she said...
You know, this morning I got to thinking about the bees and birds and about does.
Oh?
And I wrote this little poem. Listen. Bees buzz, birdies sing. Does everything.
Bees buzz, does. Well, thanks, Cousin Dozen, thanks. But I think I better explain does everything in the wash. Everything from work shirts, towels, to the pretty rayon blouses you wash. Why, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does gives longer life to those colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness for towels and real cleaning power for the grimiest work shirts. Yes, even in the toughest wash, does everything. And when you does your wash, remember all soaps contain vital war materials, so don't waste Does. Always soak clothes in clear, cool water before washing. See to it every bit of Does you use does more. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs. Molly sees no way out. Grace may have to be exposed. This is Clayton Collier speaking and reminding you to do as the Dozums do. Let Does, the new kind of soap, do everything in the wash.